This house was built with my money. You should get out. What? But that house is. I stammered. Look, you're just part-time. You couldn't survive without me if we divorced, my husband declared proudly, handing me the divorce papers. I'm 32 years old, and I currently work part-time at a local pharmacy. I met my husband, Lon, at work, and we got married 5 years ago. At his request, I quit my job when we married and became a stay-at-home wife. Although I always wanted to continue working after marriage, I finally convinced Lon to let me work part-time recently. For the record, we don't have kids yet. I'd love to have a pet since I adore dogs, but Lon hates animals, so I've given up on that idea. Lon, who never really liked me working, started criticizing the household for the first time. Hey, have you been cleaning properly? The house seems dirtier, and there's a pile of laundry. I've been cleaning and doing laundry like always. Really? Even today's dinner felt like you cut corners. That's not true. I got caught up at work today and came home late. Cutting me off, Lon continued proudly. What work? You're just part-time. I'm the one actually working. Take care of the house properly. Even part-time work is still proper work. I'm the one earning the money that lets us live, so don't talk back. See? I'm right. You have nothing to say. Lon has always had a high sense of pride and probably dislikes the fact that I'm working part-time. He started looking down on me because of it, constantly bragging about how we can only live this way because of his income. Even if he's the man I chose to marry, being belittled for working part-time every time is really frustrating. Recently, Lon managed to take a day off after a long time, so we decided to visit his parents' house. Despite his annoying recent behavior, I was excited about the outing. Little did I know it would turn into the worst homecoming ever. When we arrived at his parents' home, they warmly welcomed us. That night, after finishing dinner cleanup with my father-in-law, I went to the living room and found my father-in-law fresh from the shower. My husband had apparently gone to shower as well. The atmosphere with my father-in-law, who had been cheerful until now, felt heavier than before. Callie, I heard from Lon that you've started working part-time. Yes, I replied, sensing a bad feeling. Is there a problem? Is Lon not earning enough? No, it's not like that at all. I just like working. Is that so, Ron? You can't even manage the household and you still want to work part-time. You're just burdening our son. Exactly, he continued. If you have time for part-time work, focus more on home responsibilities. Look, your part-time job won't miss you if you leave, but your duties at home will. Lon works hard, and you don't feel ashamed of doing this? My mother-in-law has been a stay-at-home mom since they got married, so my parents-in-law, and even Lon, think that's how it should be. They probably don't approve of me working after marriage. Yes, sorry, I muttered, feeling crushed. I couldn't believe Lon spoke about me like that to his parents. I enjoy my job and the people at work are all great. I wish they wouldn't treat my part-time work as disposable. I've been doing my part at home the same as always. In fact, I'm even more careful now that I'm working part-time to ensure I'm not causing any trouble. I also know Lon works hard, which is why I've been doing my best too. A few days later, feeling down, I missed my parents and decided to give them a call. I wish they lived closer so I could see them whenever I wanted. Hello, Callie, what's up? My father's familiar gentle voice almost made me cry, but something felt off because Mom usually answered the phone. Dad, it's been a while. No special reason for calling. I just wanted to hear your voice. Are both of you doing well? I'm doing fine, but your mom's knee has worsened a bit. She's otherwise in good health, but needs to rest for a while. Is Mom okay? My mom had injured her knee years ago, but she was fully healed, wasn't she? It's not serious. She stumbled on the stairs recently and hurt her old injury a bit. The doctor said she'd be fine with some rest. All right, tell Mom to take it easy until she feels better, and Dad, don't overexert yourself. I'll visit when I can. Got it, thanks. You must be busy, see, but don't push yourself too hard. I was glad to hear my dad's voice, but now I was worried about my mom. Well, she's not ill, just needs to rest, as my dad said. They're both getting older now. I thought of my mom bustling around the house when I lived there and felt a twinge of sadness. Come to think of it, she tripped on the stairs. I suddenly thought about the layout of my childhood home. When I lived there, I never felt it. But now, considering that my parents, who are in their 60s, live there alone, I realize the house might have many inconveniences. The house is old and the stairs are steep with no handrails, especially concerning for my mom who just hurt her knee. It worries me that my aging parents live there, and it's not even an accessible house. The thought of facing another ordeal makes me shudder. We both have jobs, so we can't be too demanding, but I've always wished we could live closer to my parents. Considering their age and the condition of their home, it might be time to think about other options. I decided to use this opportunity to build a new house for them. Truth is, I have some passive income from real estate that was handed down from relatives. My parents advised me to keep it a secret because you never know what might happen, so I hadn't told my husband about it. I've been saving it for a rainy day, and I'm thinking of using that money to gift my parents a brand new house. I feel so happy to finally give back to my parents who have raised me. Though it's my own money, making such a big purchase isn't something I can decide alone. I immediately consulted my husband. Lon, my parents are getting old. This could be a good opportunity for us to help them. He agreed more easily than I had expected. Really? That's great, thank you. I was a bit surprised as I thought he'd say no. Well, I'm not sure if you working part-time can actually pull this off. See, you're silent again. Can you really do it? I can, I replied. Do your best then. I was happy he agreed so quickly, but the way he belittled me for working part-time honestly made me angry. I thought my part-time job had nothing to do with it, but arguing would be a hassle, so I ended the conversation. The next day, I began making arrangements for my parents' new home. From then on, everything went smoothly with the contractors. My husband didn't seem too thrilled about it, but he didn't say anything, so I didn't dwell on it. Then, one day, I noticed a significant amount of money missing from our shared account. It had been a while since I checked the bank account, so I updated the passbook. I had no recollection of withdrawing $5,000 this month. It must have been my husband, but for what? I'll ask him as soon as he gets home tonight. When he got home, I asked him about the missing money. Hey, I updated the passbook today and noticed $5,000 is missing from our living expenses account. Do you know anything about this? Yeah, I gave it to my parents. What? Why? They seem to be struggling financially. We had some savings, so I thought it would be fine. I didn't notice anything like that when we visited your parents' house last time. Maybe they acted normal so they wouldn't worry us. Got a problem with that? No, it's not like that. This is about household expenses. You could have at least consulted me. My words must have touched a nerve. My husband sharply retorted, It's my hard-earned money. I'll use it how I want. I don't need to consult you every time. You only work part-time and can't even handle things at home. You're getting a bit too high and mighty. Annoyed with my silence, my husband slammed the door and left the room. I always thought Lon left the house matters to me because he trusted me. I felt trusted, yet he didn't consult me this time either. If his parents were really struggling, I'd want to help too. I wouldn't oppose it. It's been 5 years since we got married, and it hurts to feel like there's zero trust. Things have been awkward since then, but life goes on as usual. We've had our share of fights in these 5 years. This time, too, things returned to normal before we knew it. I did wish he'd apologize, but I didn't want to ruin the mood, so I stayed quiet. In the meantime, our new house was completed. I heard that with newer homes, construction updates can be quick, and it turns out it's true. I was excited and immediately contacted my parents to finalize the moving day. Since I heard the construction would be fast, my parents had been getting things ready. My mom's knee is bad, and dad's not young, so they were handling the lighter tasks. For heavy furniture and appliances, we were going to hire movers. My husband and I planned to help on his day off. Finally, it felt real that I could gift my parents a new house. Little did I know what was about to happen. It was when I checked my husband's schedule for the move. What? Why are we going to your parents' house? We built this house for my parents. What are you talking about? I built this house for my parents. Don't act like you built it. You're just a part-timer. You don't have that kind of money. This house was built with my salary. He was serious. I'm sure I told him that I was building the house for my parents. Could it be that he agreed so easily because he thought it was for his parents? He doesn't know that I have passive income. At this rate, he won't believe that I built the house with my savings. I decided to tell him about my passive income. When I explained, he looked surprised for a moment, but then said, No way that's true. You probably just wanted a new house and made up that lie. He wouldn't believe me no matter what. He claimed that since the house was built with his salary, his parents had a right to live there. The conversation was over before it even began. Feeling like I had no choice, I thought I'd talk about it once more tomorrow. But the next day, my husband suddenly stormed in. This house was built with my money. You should get out. What? But that house is. I built that house with my savings specifically for my parents. Being told to move out all of a sudden really put me in a bind. Well, you're just working part-time, so you wouldn't make it without me if we got divorced. Divorce? Out of nowhere. I couldn't grasp what my husband was saying. Smirking, he handed me a pre-filled divorce application and left for work with a smug look on his face. My husband has been belittling me for so long, he probably never thought I'd actually go through with filing the divorce papers. He might think he's intimidating me, but I can make it without his income. Fed up, I filled out the divorce form and submitted it. I packed my bags and left the house, heading straight for my parents' home. They were surprised to see me, but once they heard the story, they welcomed me warmly. I moved back in with my parents and everything was set up sooner than expected. We started living together in the new house. I was a bit concerned that I hadn't heard anything from my husband, but since I had already filed for divorce, I decided not to worry about it. A little while after I moved in, an unknown moving company showed up. Upon checking, I found out that items were being moved in under my ex-husband's name. According to the movers, my husband and his parents would be arriving soon in their car. They were planning to move into the home where I live with my parents without even asking. We may have been married once, but we're divorced now, so he's a stranger. Moving in like that without asking is both unbelievable and frightening. The movers were also confused. After talking with my parents, we called the police. The police confirmed since the house was in my name and we were already divorced, his entering the house could be considered unlawful entry. When my husband and his parents arrived, they were visibly shaken to see the police. His parents seemed clueless, but my husband finally seemed to understand the reality of the situation. What is going on, Juan? Explain yourself, his parents demanded. He looked extremely rattled, getting grilled by both the police and his own parents. I'd never seen him so flustered. I didn't really want to have anything to do with him anymore, but I decided to submit evidence to the police. I don't know all the details, but from what I heard through mutual friends, he had a tough time. His parents had already canceled their housing arrangements, so they had nowhere to go. There were complaints from the moving company too, and due to the evidence I submitted to the police, things got even worse for him. I had proof of his emotional abuse. Audio recordings from times he really got under my skin. After all that drama, I managed to secure a settlement in the divorce. My ex-husband drained his already meager savings and is now living off his parents' support. Word got out at his workplace, making things super awkward for him. I used the settlement money to treat my parents to a vacation. They were thrilled, and so was I. I also invested the rest of the settlement and my savings to start my own business. It was a struggle at first, but now things are picking up and I'm getting some breathing room. So I finally decided to get the dog I've always wanted. Now life is fulfilling and fun every day. I'm genuinely glad I took the plunge back then. Off for a walk. Take care, dear, my mom said as I grabbed the leash. But there's another reason my days are brighter. Oh, hi Kelly. You're walking your dog too. I met this handsome neighbor while walking my dog. Hi, yeah, I'm walking my dog. Do you mind if I join you? Not at all, I replied with a smile.